Hey, welcome back. We're making our way through Chapter 2. We're going to start some applications here, just some more different ones. These are going to include some geometry issues, and it's all going to be good, all right? We're going to learn to solve a formula for a specific variable. That comes in real handy when we want to figure things out. Tonight, everything is going to be we're going to be given values for all the other variables. So we're just going to plug in and solve for the one that's remaining. We're also going to use geometric formulas like area, perimeter, volume. We're going to use those kinds of formulas to solve application problems. So let's get started here. All right. Oh, hey, look, we have a new friend with us. So let's think about naming him. He might just pop up every once in a while. All right. Okay. When I'm solving for a variable and I'm given values for every variable except one, here's the process that I want you to use when working the problems tomorrow. I want you to write down the given formula. Just write down what they give you. Then I want you to plug in the values for the variables that are given. And then we're going to solve for that remaining variable. What I want you to realize is that once you've plugged in all the given values, really what you're left is just a linear equation in one variable. You have a bunch of numbers and one letter, and you're solving for that one letter. All right. So let's use that technique to solve for the missing variable. Find the value of the remaining variable. We're given A equals L times W. So we're going to write that formula down. A equals L times W. The next thing we're going to do is plug in for the values that we're given. Be careful that you actually replace the letters with their correct values. So A is 64, so I'm going to plug in 64 for A. And then I'm going to plug in 10 for W. Now I'm solving for W. So that means I have to undo this multiplication by 10, which is division by 10. And I get 6.4 is equal to W. You could also write it as a mixed number. 6 2/5 is equal to W. All right. Let's try the next one. A equals 1/2 H plus, in parentheses, little b plus big B. All right? Again, I want you to write the formula down because that's where a lot of mistakes happen. All right? So A equals 1/2 H times little b plus big B. Okay? That's a 1/2. I'm going to plug in for all the variables that I am given. So I'm given that A is equal to 210. So I have 210 is equal to 1/2. I'm told that H is 10, so I'm going to substitute in that, plug in. And then little b, I don't have a value for that, plus 27. Now I'm going to simplify and solve for b. So the first thing I'm going to do is take care of that fraction. And 1/2 times 10 is just 5. B plus 27. Okay? So then I'm going to distribute, and I get 210 is equal to 5B plus 135. Then I'm going to subtract 135, and that gives me 75 is equal to 5B. And then I'm going to divide by 5, and B is equal to 15. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay? It's just plugging in what you're given and then simplifying to get that variable all by itself. Why don't you hit the pause button, try this one, and come back and see if you got it right. All right, welcome back. I'm going to write my formula because that's what Mrs. Westrich wants me to do. Okay, then I'm going to plug in the values that I'm given. So I have 126 is equal to 2 times L plus 2 times W is 25. That's a 2. Okay, 126 is equal to 2L plus 50. I'm going to subtract 50. And I get 76 is equal to 2L. And then I'm going to divide by 2. And that gives me 38 is equal to L. Just like so. All right. Just like we did last night, when we're using a formula to solve an applied problem, I want you to draw and label a picture. Then assign the variable. You're going to read and you're going to determine what formula to use. Again, your formulas are going to be listed in the front cover or the back cover of your book. Plug in values or expressions that you know. Solve for your remaining variable. All right? Write out the answer and check for reasonableness. Okay? Again, remember that all your formulas are listed in the front or back cover of your textbook. Perimeter is a measure of the distance all the way around something. So if you're looking to enclose something, like a yard, if you're looking to run a border paper around a room, that would all be perimeter. Okay. Generally, your perimeter formulas are going to have some kind of addition with them because you're going to be adding up sides. If some of your sides are the same, then you could multiply and add. Like the perimeter for a rectangle is twice L plus twice W because your lengths are both the same size and your widths are both the same size. Area measures the surface inside a space. So area measures what's going on the inside of the space. Okay, a lot of multiplication happening there. Multiplication of sides. So if it was a square, it would be side times side. If it was a rectangle, it would be length times width. All right? And then the third formula that you could see tonight would be volume. And just remember that volume is nothing more than taking the area of a base and multiplying it by the height or the depth, okay? Because what you're doing is you're finding the amount of space enclosed in a solid, like maybe it's a cube or maybe it's a rectangular prism, okay? Let's find the missing dimension. A home in the neighborhood has a rectangular shaped backyard. The length is 5 meters less than twice the width. Let's stop there for a second. Did you notice how your length is being described in terms of your width? So you're going to make an expression for your length using the width as your variable, all right? And then we're told that the perimeter is 80, so that means we're going to add up all the sides. We're going to add. Okay. And then we're going to list out what the length is and what the width is of this backyard. All right. So I want you to draw the picture. If it's a rectangle, draw a rectangle. All right. Label your sides. I have W. I'm not going to change that because my length is described in terms of my width. But I do know that my length is what? 5 meters less than twice the width. So 5 meters less than twice the width. I have twice the width minus 5. Okay? So my variable is W for width, because once I find the width, then I can find the length. And then my formula for perimeter of a rectangle is P equals 2L plus 2W. I'm going to plug in my values that I know. I know P is 80. I know P is 80. 2L is 2W minus 5. So notice how I put parentheses around that. Plus 2W. Okay? So now I'm going to simplify and solve for W. 80 equals 4W minus 10 plus 2W. I have like terms over here. I'm going to take care of that. 80 is equal to 4 plus 2W. 4W plus 2W is 6W minus 10. Now I'm going to move my 10 over here by adding. And I get 90 is equal to 6W. And then I have to divide by 6. And 90 divided by 6. Well, 6 goes into 9 one time with a remainder of 3. Bring down my 0, so 6 goes into 35 times. So it's 15 is equal to B. Sorry, W. W. You're like, B, where did B come from? It's W. I shall erase and make that look prettier. Okay, how's that? All right, so I know that my width is 15 meters. Is 15 meters. Okay. So my length is going to be 2 times that, which is 30, minus 5. So that's 25 meters. And then I'm going to check it for reasonableness, okay? It better make this equation true. So 80 equals 2 times 25 plus 2 times 15. 2 times 25 is 50 plus 2 times 15 is 30. So I get 80 equals 80, and that's a nice thing to have. Yes? And it checks. All right? Why don't you guys hit pause, try this one, because this one is really similar to the one I just did for you. See if you can, how far you can get. See if you can get the variables, turn it on, and then look and see if you got everything described correctly, and then hit pause again, and then solve it. Okay, let's get our variables set. All right, a farmer has 80 meters of fencing material to enclose a rectangular field. Anytime you're going around something, you're talking perimeter. Well, it just doesn't want to write, does it? Perimeter. Okay, that's going around the outer edges. Okay. 800 meters, okay? The width of the field is 50 meters less than the length. Okay, so let's look at this, because this is probably the hardest part. Width is described in terms of length, kind of the reverse of the last one, okay? Width is described in terms of the length, okay? So my variable is going to be L. My variable is going to be L. And then my width is going to be L minus 50. It's my length less 50. So length minus 50. And then the formula I have to use is the same. Perimeter equals 2L plus 2W. And I'm going to plug in what I know. My perimeter is 800. 2L plus, now for W, instead of using W, I'm going to use this L minus 50. Okay? I'm going to distribute, so I get 800 is equal to 2L plus 2L minus 100. I'm going to combine like things, and I get 800 is equal to 4L minus 100. I'm going to add 100. And I'm going to get 900 is equal to 4L. I'm going to divide by 4. And I get L is equal to 225 meters. Okay? So it wants me to write the answer. Length is 225 meters. Width is going to be 50 meters less than that. So 225 minus 50 is equal to 175. So we get 175 meters. Now to check it, my perimeter, I have to plug into this original equation up in here, right? So I have 800 is equal to 2 times 225 plus 2 times 175. And so I get 800 is equal to, that's 450 plus 350. So I get 800 is equal to 800, and it checks. Right? Okay, good. Here we go. Getting through this. A triangle. Right? The longest side of a triangle is 3 feet longer than the shortest side. Notice what? That my long side is being described in terms of my short side. So let's let my variable be the short side. S is equal to short. Okay? It says my medium side is 1 foot longer than my shortest side. So again, medium is being described in terms of the shortest side. So if this is short, here's my long side, right? It has to be S plus 3. And then my medium side is S plus 1. Because the medium side is 1 foot longer than. So you're going to add 1 more to your short side to get your medium side. Okay, the formula for the perimeter of a triangle is the sum of all the sides. So I'm going to have the short side plus the medium side plus the long side all has to add up to equal 16 feet. I'm going to plug in my values or my expressions. All right, well, I plugged in my 16, right? S is just S. Medium is S plus 1. And L is S plus 3. And that has to equal 16. So I have several S's. I have 1S plus 1S plus 1S. That gives me 3S plus 4 is equal to 16. Now I want to subtract my 4. And I get 3S is equal to 12, and then divide by 3, which tells me that S is equal to 4. There's my answer. Okay, that's part of my answer. All right, short side, you can say short is 4 feet. Okay, what should my middle one be? Middle is 4 plus 1, so that's going to be 5 feet. And my long is what? Short plus 3, so that's going to be 7 feet. So if I add those 3 up, they need to add up to 16, do they? 4 plus 5 plus 7 has to equal 16. Well, that's 9 plus 7, so 16 equals 16. And yes, we got it. We got it, Toyota. One more, and this time we're looking for, it's talking about area. The area of a triangular sail is 126 feet squared. The base of the sail is 12 feet. Notice how I drew this triangle right here. All right, let's label what we know. The base is 12 feet, okay? I don't know the height, but I know that the area is equal to 126 feet. Okay? So I'm looking for h. H is equal to the height. What formula do I know for the area of a triangle? Well, area is equal to 1/2 base times height. I know the value for the area. It's 126, so I'm going to plug that in. 126 is equal to 1/2. I know the length of my base is 12. I don't know my height, which is h. And now I'm going to solve for h. I'm going to take care of this first. So I get 126 is equal to half of 12 is 6h, and then I'm going to divide by 6. And I get 21 feet is equal to h. 21 feet is equal to h. So the height is 21 feet. Okay? Now I'm going to check it. Well, if I plug in 21 for h and 12 for b, and take half of it, I better come up with 126. So I want 126 to equal 1/2 times 12 times 21. I'm just going to apply that right here. And I get 126 is equal to 6 times 21. And 6 times 21 is 126. Just like that. All right. We're going to be working these kind of problems tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. We will see you tomorrow, and think about a name for this little guy here. What shall we call him? Good night.